James Scott Williams was born on August 18th, 1966. His parents were Patricia Diamond Williams and James Williams, Jr. He had a sister named Kim. Not much else is known about his life or anything from when he was growing up. One source states that he was a lifelong resident of Gretna, Louisiana. At some point, Scott gained an interest in music and began playing bass. He was in the band New Religion, playing bass from 1989 to 1991. The band only seemed to have lasted between those years, with the demo in 89 and 91 being released both on cassette. At some unknown period of time, Scott was in a band with Donovan Punch and Punch's girlfriend, which the band was called PCP. The band was later renamed Bum Freakin' Egypt. There doesn't seem to be any more info on this band either, at least on the Metal Archives. In 1992, Scott joined Soilent Green as their new bassist. He is first credited with having played on the 1995 split album Green Vegetable Matter / Soilent Green. He played on all of Soilent Green's releases from 1995 to 2001, and is credited with also appearing on the 2002 split album of Soilent Green and I Hate God. Most sources state that Scott left Soilent Green in the 2001 to 2002 area, though none ever said why, at least none of the sources that I could find which are still around today. On April 26, 2004, Scott was murdered by his roommate in a murder-suicide. The details of this are scarce, and some sources and old forum posts have implied that Scott and his roommate were romantic partners. Scott had went to a restaurant in Gretna, Louisiana, with his partner, Tracy Terry, on what is recalled as a Monday night. The two men had moved in with Scott's mother on the 600 block of Bannerwood Drive 2 months before. Tracy and Scott had had dinner with 2 other men that night, and the unnamed men stated that Tracy left the restaurant angry because Scott had been talking to another person. The unnamed men brought Scott home shortly afterwards, implying that Tracy Terry had stranded Scott without a way home. At about 11:50 p.m., Tracy Terry shot James Scott Williams in the head with a .38 caliber revolver. Terry then pointed the gun on himself. Scott's mother heard a loud noise and found her son bleeding from the head. When deputies arrived later, they found Tracy Terry with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. Neighbors stated that they never heard any arguments or disturbances, with one stating that they were very quiet at the Williams' household. Scott Williams was 37 years old at the time of his death. A funeral was held for him on April 30th, 2004. His interment was private. I don't know much of anything on Tracy Terry, only that he was 40 years old at the time of the murder. I could not find a grave page or obituary on him, which I assume might be because of Louisiana's privacy laws. I also don't know if Tracy Terry had any family in Louisiana or elsewhere. A benefit show was held for Scott on June 18, 2004, with bands like Goat Whore, Volume Knob, Outlaw Order, Rat in the Bucket, and Soilent Green performing to help with the funeral costs. On July 21, 2004, an article from Lamb Goat posted an update about the benefit concert. It stated a quote from the Soilent Green website, which said, "First off, we would like to thank everyone that came out on Friday, June 18th, for the benefit show of the late Scott Williams. The show raised $2,900 and was a huge success. The money helped Scott's family pay for the funeral costs. A P.O. box was listed where users could donate to the Scott Williams Fund, though I am unsure if it is still in use anymore. Scott Williams does not seem to have a Find a Grave page, at least when I checked in 2023. I don't know what the exact relationship that Scott had with Tracy Terry, but it sounds like it was an abusive one, which may have had multiple episodes of violence and abuse in the past. I am only speculating, though, and whether or not they were romantic partners doesn't take away the fact that there was something terribly wrong with Tracy Terry's mentality, and for whatever reason, talking to another person in his mind made him feel like it was okay to kill his partner. This would be an example of domestic violence, also known as intimate partner violence, which even in homosexual relationships is still a very real problem. If you or someone you know is in a relationship like this, please seek help.